welcome to Mrs. Patterson's Homework Help. This is Math, Chapter 3. We are on Lesson 7. Today's lesson is going to deal with factors and multiples, and kids get those monkeyed up and confused all the time. So we're going to here to straighten that all out. Before we get to the homework, I want to define what factors and what multiples are. Both of them have to do with multiplication. Okay? Factors, you have to think of a factory. Okay? Factories do what? They build things, right? So think about 2 and 3. What are they building? They're building the number 6, right? 2 times 3 is 6. So these are factors. They are building numbers, okay? So a lot of times what we do is say we want to find all the factors of the number 20, okay? So how are the different ways we can get to 20? Well, I know 1 times 20 gets me 20, right? So the number 1 and 20 are factors. 2 times 10, so 2 and 10 are factors. 4 times 5. 4 and 5 are factors of 20. So we all know that those are factors of 20. 1, 20, 2, 10, 4, and 5 are factors. They're the building blocks. They build the number 20. Okay? What's a multiple? Multiples are numbers that grow. Think skip counting. Remember when you learned skip counting when you were in kindergarten? For example, multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What are the multiples of 3? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so forth. Multiples grow. They grow. Think of like a snowball. What happens when the snowball starts rolling downhill? It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and so forth. That's what multiples do. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. They're all multiples of 2. 3. What about, can you have big multiples? Yeah. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. How about 100, 200, 300? All multiples, okay? You can skip count by whatever number you want to. Millions. But they're multiples. They're numbers that grow. So multiples grow, factors build. You need to know the difference. They will ask those types of questions on the state exam. So remember, factors are numbers that build other numbers, like 2 times 3 are 6. Multiples are numbers that grow. Just think skip counting, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so forth. Okay? All right, let's look at our homework page. We are on page 177 and 178 for tonight's homework. Okay, now they have up at the top defined both of those terms again. Find factors of 16. So 1 times 16 gets us 16, 2 times 8 gets us 16, 4 times 4 gets us 16. So 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16 are all factors of 16. Write the first 5 multiples of 4. Interesting way that they do it here. 0 times 4 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. But basically, look at it this way. 0, 4, 8, 12, 16. They're counting by 4s. Each time by 1 more. Sorry. No times, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. So the first 5 multiples of 4 are 0, 4, 8, 12, and 16. Okay? So the practice they have us finding the factors for 14 and 20. The next, for questions 3 through 8, we're finding the first 5 multiples for each number. So they want 5 multiples. So if you're doing 2, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So I have 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 numbers there. Okay. On the back, there is several essay questions that I want you to try to go through and do. Okay. And I want to talk about the vocabulary a little bit because I haven't used this word for homework help. The number 12 is a blank of 2, 3, and 4. So that's going to be a multiple. And I can't write the whole word in there because I'm writing a big fat marker. So basically, if I was counting by 2s, I would get to 12. If I was counting by 3s, I would get to 12. And if I was counting by 4s, I would get to 12. So all of those numbers, 12 is a multiple of both 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Now, the other vocabulary word is decompose. Decompose is also a scientific word that we use. Basically, it means to break things down. And when we look at numbers, we can break them down, right? We have the number 24 here. And one way to decompose (24) is to show it as 2 times 12. So we've broken it down and we say 2 times 12 gets us to 24. So we've kind of cracked this up and broken it down. Another way to decompose a number, say we want to decompose, I don't know, the number 4. How could we do that? 2 times 2. How can we decompose 10? 2 times 5. So we've taken 10 and we've broken it apart. We've decomposed it. We've pulled it apart. And they use that in cooking. If you ever watch cooking shows, they do decomposing things and pulling ingredients apart. We learn about it in science and animals decomposing and you know, going rotten and coming back to the earth kind of thing. And then we do it with numbers as well. So decompose basically means just to break it down. And we've taken 10 and broken it down into its factors. And that's a process of decomposing. Okay? So now that you know what decomposing is, decompose 12 for me. Give it a try.